Welcome, Starfire Nation. We're coming to you today from the 2019 Mid-America Truck Show in Louisville, Kentucky. And today I've got some great guests with me. I have Susan and Ashley joining me from the Truckers Against Trafficking. Now, for our Starfire fans that are out there listening, Susan, could you please tell us a little bit about the Truckers Against Trafficking?
Yeah, absolutely. So Truckers Against Trafficking, what we do is we educate, equip, and empower members of the trucking industry to notice signs of sex trafficking in their everyday jobs and then to report it.
Awesome. You guys are doing some great work, too.
Thanks.
I've seen, looking at some of the statistics on your website, there's some great numbers on there. I see that already you've received over 2,200 calls, and also you have received reports, I guess, identified close to 1,100 potential victims that have been identified as well that you've been able to assist, which is fantastic work. The other thing I've noticed is you've really evolved a lot with the organization since it started. We've seen many new programs that have started that have been assisting a lot of the potential victims that are out there. We've seen programs such as the Freedom Drivers Project, which I think can you give us a little bit of information about that?
Yeah, great. So the Freedom Drivers Project is a 48-foot-long trailer that we bring to all of our coalition builds where we have law enforcement and members of the trucking industry that get together. We also take it to corporate events, but it's a trailer that just educates the public on what human trafficking looks like in the United States, right? It's a heinous crime, and a lot of people don't understand what it looks like today. It is not smuggling. It is trafficking of our trafficking of the people here in the States, right? That are forced into sex trafficking, and so we just want to make sure that people understand what that looks like, what it is, and of course, ultimately, what they can do to help combat this crime.
Right, and I think it's very important to be you're able to bring this information and awareness to our public as well, because I think many people really think that human sex trafficking is still kind of a third world country issue when it's still very, very prevalent in all of our nation, all of our nation and all of our cities. So it's really amazing the work that you're doing, bringing the awareness and including some of the additional programs. I mean, you've got the Shipping Partners Program, the Coalition Builds Program, Industry Training Program, state-based initiatives, the TAT Dealership Partner Program, Law Enforcement Program, and even a man-to-man campaign. So could you give us a little bit more information about the man-to-man campaign?
Yeah, sure. Ashley's going to do that for us.
Sure. So the man-to-man campaign is really interesting because it brings drivers that we've trained and gives them speaking points so that they can tell fellow drivers why they don't purchase commercial sex. There's something about hearing it from a colleague, telling his personal reasons and giving information on it that just has a really big impact. So we're proud of the drivers that have partnered with us and given us their words as to why they don't participate in this crime, and we share that through social media, on our website, through banners, and then they have those courageous conversations with their peers in the industry.
Yeah, it's amazing that you're doing just groundwork right from the very get-go, from the initial driver and getting that information out there, which is incredible. So with all these programs and everything that's going on with TAT, what's next for TAT, and how do you move from here?
Yeah, great. So we are 10 years old. Yay. Happy
Congratulations.
birthday, Chad. Yeah, we've done a lot of great work, right? Training over 700,000 drivers. But we know that there are millions of drivers out on the road. Millions.
Right.
And so we just want to get this out there, get the word out there. And in the next 10 years and the 10 years after that, right, just getting the word out so that more people know what's out there and can rescue and not, I mean, we don't do the rescuing, but we certainly make calls to save lives is what we say, right? Also, we're working with bus driving. The bus industry. We know that it's a natural extension for us, and training school bus drivers as well as commercial bus drivers what to look for, just like our truckers. And we call this program Busing on the Lookout, Bottle. We have materials specifically for them, as well as for the bus stops. And bus stops we know is a big area where trafficking happens. So we have signs to put up to hopefully the girls and boys, of course, can look at, and maybe they'll look at that sign and say, nah, yeah, I'd like to get out, and even though I'm scared, I can make that call myself too. Right.
Well, I mean, it's very aware that the education and training is really the backbone of the Truckers Against Trafficking organization. So how many people have you really reached to date with some of the statistics I've seen? What have you reached so far?
Yeah, so we know that we've trained over 700,000 drivers.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's a huge number for sure. And that's all that we know about. We do know that there are some people that haven't registered with us, so it could be even more than that. Right. But again, like we know there are millions of drivers on the road.
That's fantastic. And I mean, with the great work that you're doing, you've received some wonderful awards as well. I mean, we've seen some congressional awards given for the Victims' Rights Awards, which is fabulous. But not only do you receive awards, but you also give awards. So I see that you have a program called the Harriet Tubman Award. Maybe you should give us a little information about that.
Yes, so our Harriet Tubman Award is actually sponsored by Protective Insurance, and it's given to drivers that have made the call, that have helped with the recovery of victims of human trafficking. So it really, drivers can nominate themselves of calls they've made. Companies that have heard about it can make those nominations, and it's just to honor those drivers that are willing to make that call and really help save somebody's lives. We're taking nominations. We'll do our next awarding in May, and it's actually, they get awarded at an event at the Indy 500. They do a banquet beforehand, and they get a paid trip to go to the Indy 500. So if you have made a call, or you know a colleague or a driver that has done that, let us know the story and what came out of it, because we'd really like to honor those people that are making those calls, because we can't do our work without people that are willing to make that call.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So for people that really need some more information, where can they go to get that information?
So all of our information is at truckersagainsttrafficking.org. We also have a very active social media website, so we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, but you can get all the training information. You can order free materials from us. So if you want to start training or get more information about our programs, that's where you can get that information.
Fantastic. Well, we would like to congratulate you on all the wonderful accomplishments that your organization has done. And as Starfire has done in the past, we would also like to pledge our continued support for the Truckers Against Trafficking organization as well. And we would like to challenge everybody out there in Starfire Nation to ignite their fire and get them involved and do something to help this organization out. So again, coming from the 2019 Mid-American Truck Show, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much.